Hello friends, welcome to Tanya's Biology. Today my topic is about central nervous system. In my previous video, I have already described about the neural system on the structure of a neuron and how the impulse transmitted through synaptic knob. These are the information that I have already given you. Today I will discuss about the structure of brain or structure of central nervous system. In this video, I like to talk about the layer of the brain. If we see the brain by a section, what the layers that are present in this system are shown. Okay, let's start. The central nervous system, we all know that the central nervous system consists of brain and spinal cord. The nervous system is divided into two parts. One is peripheral nervous system and another one is central nervous system. Except the central nervous system, the remaining system or the remaining nervous system is known as peripheral nervous system. We have talked about the VIP treatment. Brain and spinal cord get that treatment. The myelinated fibers are present in this portion. Okay, that means central nervous system consists of brain and spinal cord. What is the function of brain? Brain plays a central role. Brain plays a central role in the control mostly bodily functions, including awareness, movements, sensation, thoughts, speech and memory. These are the functions of brain, or we can say that these functions are controlled by the brain or the different parts or lobes of the brain. Okay. Another part of central nervous system is spinal cord. The spinal cord is connected. To a section of the brain called brainstem. That means brain and spinal cord are connected through brainstem. Okay, the brainstem is the connection between the spinal cord and the brain and runs through the spinal canal Okay, that means the central nervous system consists of brain and spinal cord. The junction between the brain and spinal cord is known as brainstem. Okay, the function of brain is awareness, sensation, thought, speech, memory. Okay, we have the modified brain, we have the latest version of brain. Though we have that modified brain, so we can able to participate all this function. Okay, if we cut the brain or if we see the layers of the brain, we can see the different parts. Okay, meninges. We all know that meninges. What is meninges? Meninges refer to the membranous covering. Meninges refer to the membranous covering of the brain and spinal cord. That means the layer that are present in the brain are also present in the spinal cord. The layer that are present in the brain are also present in the spinal cord. Okay, there are three layers of meninges. There are mainly three layers of meninges. What are the layers are? Dura mater, arachnoid matter and pia mater. Okay, these are the three layers. These are the main three layers of the brain. If we start the section or if we start to observe the brain layer by layer, then we can see that the first layer is the skin layer. After the skin, it is present of peristem. Okay. After that, the cranium is present. This layer is the cranium layer. Okay. After the cranium, the main layer, the first layer, which is dura mater is present. It is very tough layer. This layer is very tough and inflexible. Okay. Just after the dura mater, presence of arachnoid matter. But there is a space. there is a space between dura mater and arachnoid matter. This space is known as subdura mater space. Let me write that, subdura mater space. This space is present in between dura mater and arachnoid matter. So this space is known as subdura mater space. Okay. After the arachnoid matter, presence of pia mater. Okay. But there is another space is present between arachnoid matter and pia mater. The space between the arachnoid matter and pia matter is covered by CSF, cerebrospinal fluid. That means cerebrospinal fluid is present in between arachnoid matter and pia matter. We can't see the pia mater separately. We can't see the pia matter separately. It is basically adhere with the tissue of brain. It's a very shiny tissue. Okay. If we see the pia mater, we can't see it separately. It's like a shiny structure or shiny tissue lining that are present associated with the brain. Shiny tissue lining that are adhere with the brain tissue. Okay. That means if we study the brain layer separately, we can see from the first it is skin, then a peristem, cranium. After the cranium, the main layer is starting, which is dura mater, arachnoid matter and pia matter. In between the dura mater and arachnoid matter, there is a space known as subdura mater space. And CSF, cerebrospinal fluid, is present in between arachnoid matter and pia matter. Okay. Now we need to study the layer of the brain. Okay. What is the layer? First layer is the dura mater. What is dura mater? The dura mater is outermost layer of meninges. Dura mater is the outermost layer of the meninges, lying directly underneath the bones of the skull and vertebral column. Okay, it is thick, tough and intextile. That means dura mater is the outermost matter. It is very thick layer. This is present in brain as well as in the spinal cord. Okay. The next matter. What is the next matter? The arachnoid matter. The arachnoid matter is the middle layer of the meninges, lying directly underneath the dura mater. It consists of layer of connective tissue. Underneath the arachnoid is a space known as subarachnoid space. Okay, like the subdura space. That means there are two types of space. One is present in between the dura mater and arachnoid matter. Another one is present in the arachnoid matter and pia mater. Okay. It contains cerebrospinal fluid which act as a cushion of the brain. Okay. The pia mater is located underneath the subarachnoid space. Okay. It is very thin layer or shiny layer. We can see that this layer is very shiny layer. Is highly vascularized with blood vessel. Okay. That means there are three different types of layer. These three different types of layer having three different characters. They have different functions also. This layer is present in the brain as well as in the spinal cord. Okay. If we draw a picture to clear all the image, let me draw it. It's a rough picture. If this is the brain and the spinal cord part, then one by one we need to understand the different portion of the brain. If we go from the last portion, if we go from the spinal cord direction, from spinal cord towards the brain, towards the forebrain, we can see different parts. What are the parts are? The first part is the last part of the brain. The first from the last is the hind brain. The first from the last is the hind brain, that is present or that connect the spinal cord with the brain. That connect the spinal cord with the brain. We can say that this is an outcome. Okay, this outcome we known as hind brain. This is hind brain, or we can say that, let me write it, we can say that this is cerebellum. Cerebellum. Okay, the hind brain is known as cerebellum. Okay, this projection, that means the outer projection is the hind brain. This hind brain is associated with another two part. This hind brain is associated with another two part. One is medulla. One is medulla. Medulla. And other one is pons. Other one is pons. Other one is pons. This pons is present just above the medulla. That means the hind brain or cerebellum is an outer projection. This is associated with the two parts. One is medulla, another one is the pons. Medulla is directly connected with the spinal cord. It helps in respiration. Medulla is directly connected with the spinal cord and helps in respiration. Okay. After the pons, let me write the pons. Let me write it. There is a part. There is a part. This part is the hindbrain part. After the hindbrain, it comes midbrain. The midbrain is divided into two parts, or we can say it divided into four lobes. These lobes are, there are four lobes. There are four lobes. This is the part of the midbrain. This four lobe is the part of the midbrain. The upper two lobe, that means this two lobe is known as inferior colliculi. Inferior colliculi. Inferior colliculi. And the lower two lobe, that means this two lobe, is known as superior colliculi. Superior colliculi. Okay. That means these are the two parts of the brain. These are the two parts of the brain. Okay. Inferior colliculi helps in auditory function, whereas the superior colliculi helps in visual function. These are the four lobes of the midbrain. The upper two lobes is known as inferior colliculi and the lower two lobes is known as superior colliculi. This diagram is a rough diagram. Through this diagram, we need to understand the parts of brain, different parts of brain. This part is the hindbrain part, which contains cerebellum, medulla and pons. This part is the midbrain part, which contain four lobes, two inferior colliculi and two superior colliculi. Upper two lobe is inferior colliculi and the lower two lobe is superior colliculi. After that comes diencephalon, the forebrain. After that comes diencephalon. Actually, the midbrain is very rudimentary. They are very small. They are very rudimentary. After that comes the forebrain. The forebrain has two parts. One is diencephalon, another one is telencephalon. The diencephalon is divided into two or three parts. What are the parts are? Let me draw it. First, this is the two lobe. One is thalamus and another one is hypothalamus. This one is thalamus. Then this portion is hypothalamus. Okay. This is the part of diencephalon. This is the part of diencephalon. This is also associated with another part, which is pineal gland. This is pineal gland. This is pineal gland. This is also known as epithalamus. Pineal gland is also known as epithalamus. Okay. That means after the midbrain, there are two lobes or portion which is known as thalamus and hypothalamus. This thalamus and hypothalamus associated with another portion which is known as pineal body. This pineal body is another name of the pineal body is epithalamus. Okay. Above the thalamus there is a portion which is known as the forebrain portion. This is a forebrain portion where, or we can say that this is the portion which is known as cerebrum. The entire portion, what we can see from outside is the entire portion is cerebrum. Okay, this cerebrum. Okay, this is the forebrain portion. The entire forebrain is the cerebrum. Okay, in this portion, the two types of matter is present. One is white matter, another one is grey matter. If we cut the spinal cord, we see this type of diagram. Let me draw it. One is the dark portion is known as grey matter, and this is grey matter, and this portion is white matter. Okay, white matter. Why this portion is known as grey matter? Because we all know about the neuron, the structural and functional unit of nervous system. We all know that how it looks like. There is a different portion of neuron. One is cell body, axon and dendrites. Here in the grey matter, all the cell body of the neuron are accumulated. If we see the picture, we can see that there is a cell body. Okay, the cell body of the neuron are accumulated in this portion, so it looks like a grey structure. Though the cell body are accumulated in this portion, it looks like grey structure, and the axon part is present. In the white matter. They are myelinated. That means some fatty deposition or some fatty coating are present in the myelinated portion. This fatty coating is white colored. So the white matter is looks like. That's why the color is white. They are coated with some fatty deposition which is white in color. So they are colored white in structure. And why this is grey? Because the cell body are accumulated. The cell body of the neurons are accumulated in the grey portion. Okay, got it? If we see the cerebral portion, cerebrum, we can see there are if we see that picture, we can it looks like this. Okay, this is the white matter and the other portion is the grey matter. Okay, that means if we see the structure of the brain, we can see what we are talking about, the half portion of the brain. We are talking about the half portion. If we dissect our brain, then we see one lobe, one portion of the brain. That means there are two equal parts. The brain has two equal parts. How these two equal parts are jointed? They are jointed with the help of the nerve tract. They are jointed with the help of the nerve tract that are coming out from the white matter. It is known as corpus callosum. Okay. And another word which is coming, this portion that I am talking about, the grey matter is grey because the cell body of the neurons are accumulated. Okay. That means we have, from here we can see that there is a hindbrain part, there is a midbrain part, and there is a forebrain part. Forebrain part, one is diencephalon that I am talking about, the thalamus, hypothalamus and the pineal body, that is the diencephalon part, and the remaining portion is the telencephalon part. Okay, the telencephalon part. If we see the structure, let me write it. If we see the structure, this is the half portion of the brain. The another part, actually the brain is divided into two parts. This two part is associated with the help of the nerve tract that are coming from the white matter. This coming from the white matter known as corpus callosum. But in the white matter we can see some patches. This patches is caused because of the subcortical neuron. Some patches here, they are almost grey in color. This portion is caused because of the presence of the cell body of subcortical neuron. We can see some patches in the white matter. This patches is caused because of the subcortical neuron. That means the cell body of the subcortical neuron are accumulated, that causes the grey patches in the white matter. This collection of all subcortical neuron, if we collect the all portion, it is known as limbic system. Okay, we can understand that. That means within the white matter there are some patches. These patches are caused because of the subcortical neuron. All the accumulation of subcortical neuron is known as limbic system. Okay. This is all about the brain. Okay. That are come in the examination. All the questions are related to this portion. Okay. That means the forebrain developed into diencephalon and telencephalon. This contain among other thalamus, cerebral cortex, basal ganglia. This structure arising from the forebrain, which is responsible for higher thought, motor condition, coordination and homeostasis. The midbrain is associated with eye and body movement. The midbrain that are associated, that means midbrain had two type of parts, inferior and superior colliculi. Okay, the midbrain is associated with eye and body movement. We have already told you that auditory portion and visual portion is maintained, or they are connected with inferior colliculi and superior colliculi. Okay. The hindbrain develops into diencephalon and metencephalon. They contain cerebellum, pons and medulla. Okay, cerebellum, pons and medulla. That means all the function, all the parts of the CNS that have discussed here or discussed today is associated with the brain and spinal cord. If we cut the spinal cord, what you can see? The grey matter and white matter. What is the grey matter? Why it looks grey? This is all about the chapter is. Okay. If you like my video, if you want to get more video, please subscribe my channel and don't forget to like and comment.